Defensively, give us a scouting report on what you've seen from Carolina. What do they do?
Extremely athletic. They've got great athletes on defense. Back end is athletic, fast. Linebackers are solid football players that play really hard. And their D-line, they look the part. They'll bring we're going to expect their best efforts, and that team's got a ton of potential on defense.
Brandon Faison, is he taking to offense? What's gone on there this week?
No, we were just playing around, messing around with him with a few route combinations, but it's nothing of significance right now. Nothing for us to even talk about right now.
Not using him then in that role on Saturday yet?
Not sure.
Did you anticipate being this kind of pass intensive to start the season? It seems like a lot of games you guys have gone.
Well, it's you take what the defense gives you. There's been numerous times whenever the box has been overloaded, and there's been at times some real optimal looks to throw the football, i.e. in the opening of that game, we knew that we were going to get predominantly cover 2 out of empty, and that's what we want. And we were able to take advantage of that. So if we can run the ball 50 times a game, because they give it to us, we'll do it. If we have to throw it 50, we'll do that too.
If you're like most coaches, you're probably not as obsessed with numbers as we are, but 3.7 yards of carries, third from the bottom of the conference. Is that, in your mind, is that sort of more indicative of bad push up front? Is it play calling where, I mean, you run low a lot the last few weeks, and is it something systemic, or is defense stacking like they did ECU did, or is there something? It's a combination of all.
It's a combination of a lot of things, I think. We want to run the ball. Coach Beamer wants to run the ball. I want to run the ball. There's times whenever there's been optimal looks and we haven't executed. There's been times where we've said that there wasn't optimal looks and we were going to throw it. So I think it's a combination of everything you just said, all the above.
You came into the year saying you didn't want Logan to be your leading rusher. And I know Georgia Tech, you said that their defense kind of presented that to you, but have you kind of changed a little on that stance? I mean, does he seem to be your most effective weapon, or do you still feel the same way?
Still feel the same way.
What does he add when you are using him as a runner?
Obviously, there's certain times whenever you're able to outnumber them in the box because of him being used as a runner. But I still believe the same. There's times that we're going to run him, there's times that we're not, and that's just how we're going to do it.
On Monday, Frank said that he thinks you've done a good job of working with what's here, but that your vision for this offense, you still need to get pieces in, obviously. How close do you feel like are you getting to what you envision, or are you still a year away from really running?
What we're trying to do right now is we're trying to take our players that are here right now and do the very best with them and give us a chance to win games. And so vision, we're visioning from day to day. We're visioning from week to week. We're trying to give our kids the best chance to have success.
Logan didn't really practice last week. Curious, how much has he practiced more this week?
A little bit. He feels a lot better than what he did last week. Last week it was I've done that injury. That's not fun, especially whenever you throw. It's not an easy injury to overcome as you're using all those muscles when you throw. He's practiced a little bit more than what he did last week, which is a huge positive.
Obviously, he had his best performance of the year without any practice. Do you worry, though, that catches up the lack of...
Absolutely. It did. I had a quarterback that did it for 6 weeks. And he was in a system for 4 years. And it ends up catching you in the end. There's only so long that you can go without practice. But, again, he's practiced much more in comparison to what he did last week, which is a positive.
Who was that? Quarterback? The quarterback you
Chad
mentioned?
Chad dislocated his shoulder his senior year and couldn't lift his arm above his head and shoot him up on game day and go play.
Has Logan seemed more confident after playing so well and pulling out a bunch of close games these last few weeks?
I think he's been confident the entire time. There hasn't been a lack of confidence with him at all. So no, I wouldn't say that there's any different than what it's normally been.
When you're up in the booth, are you able to tell that he's in a groove, and anything you see from him that indicates that, wow, he's really in his zone right now, like he was on last Thursday?
Sure. Yeah, things are good whenever you're hot like that. But yeah, absolutely.
In that 9-for-9 to open stretch, I mean, he had the one ball he threw behind Sam that made Sam give it. How big a thing for Logan is it that somebody kind of helps him out here and now?
That was a great catch by. There was actually two balls in that drive that were mistakes actually by him, and the guys around him were able to make plays, which was huge. I mean, that was Sam. The naked that Sam caught was completely a physical mistake by Logan's behind him, and Sam was able to make a catch. That was big. That was big.
Relief for you. I mean, your guys have not always made that catch earlier in the year. Kind of a relief for you to see him pull one
it's
out.
like we said, it's a work in progress type of deal right now, and those guys just slowly but surely just keep finding a way to get a little bit better, and they made some big time catches, I thought, in that game. And that wasn't the only one. There was a great squaring catch by Dimitri. There was another one by Josh made a great catch on a third down, the one right before half. It was a great catch. So it's a work in progress, but we're slowly but surely improving.
It seems like you lose a tight end every week. Does that change what you have to do with the tight ends, or can Kelvin do the things that is he coming along?
In the perfect world, you would love to have multiple. I mean, in my perfect world, I would love to have multiple tight ends on the field, but we're playing with Kelvin, who's a young pup. We got Redmond, and obviously we've got Zach. So we started out with a bunch of them, and we're slowly but surely depleting. But they're doing a good job. Kelvin's getting better. They're improving.
Calvin have the full package at this point?
Oh, absolutely not. No. But he's improving. He's getting it. There's some times that he looks like he's been around. I think, if you don't quote me on this, but I think this is his 15th football game ever playing. Ever. 6 of them have been a Division I major college. So he's just to ask if he's doing the whole package, no, not yet. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Obviously, last year's game didn't go your way. When you think back on last year, what do you think of?
Gave up too many big plays last year. Poor fits by the secondary. It's probably the first game with all those guys. Well, we had Pitt game and that game kind of back to back where, we didn't tackle very good. I don't think our kids were comfortable in their fits in the perimeter, when it's all, because that's where all the plays came out of in the run game, we had a couple guys missed deals up front, we had J.R. Collins playing tackle, and just we were out of sorts a little bit, but I mean, they played well. They threw the ball well. They caught the ball well. They ran the ball well. I mean, they dominated us in every aspect of the game. So I mean, but we helped them a little bit. But they also, they played really, really well against us. I got to give them credit too.
When you look back on that, were you happy with the game plan and upset with the execution? Is that...
Yeah, we had a lot of, some good. There's a couple things you'd like to have back. We probably, that's part of it.
Do you feel like you have a better handle on what this offense is all about because you went through it once?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we do that as much as, because, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, obviously we're doing some things that, we'll see how it works and what adjustments we have to make and, how they're going to attack us a little bit, I'm sure it'll be, we'll be working our tail off on the sideline throughout the game, as far as it goes, just to see how if they're going to do anything any different this week. And I know this, right now they're going to, after the last 2 weeks, they're going to come here playing their best football, and that's what I told our guys. But it's not about them, it's about us. Or are we going to continue to develop and grow and do the things that we feel like we needed to keep doing to keep being a better football team? And these guys are going to be a tremendous challenge because I think, they're every bit as explosive, if not more, than Alabama. They've got a dynamic tailback. They might have the best tight end in America. You've got a couple, I think, outstanding receivers. really good football team. Very capable of attacking in a lot of different ways, and. And with the up tempo, these guys will be. I thought Marshall was going to be up tempo, but I don't know if they tried to make it a clock game, when it was all said and done. But these guys will be, it'll be a race. I think trying to get back to the line of scrimmage and go do it again. So our plan, what that does is makes things simple. We got to be good on early downs, and when they do throw it, we've got to be able to get some I think some pass rush. Now they set back. The quarterback, he's at 5 yards in the shotgun, and he really takes a couple hard 3 steps back. So he's going to be a lot of depth back there. So it kind of discourages a lot of outside pressures and things of that nature unless you get him in some long yardage situation. But we got to do a good job of making him hold the football, and and then that allows your front to be able to get some pressure and whatnot. But still, our game, last year they rushed for 350 yards or whatever it was, which is uncommon around here. Some teams it takes about 350 for half a year or something, or a good year, and it really has sometimes. But we've got to we've got to make sure they can't have success around the football. They did last year.
Speaking of that pace, Jack was saying yesterday he thought that was something that really caught you guys by surprise, even though you've seen it, you practiced for it, and all,
it's hard.
But it's different this year, considering the fact you played 4 teams to start the year that were
and I hope that'll help us a little bit. Going into this game, playing the no huddle teams that we've played, but this will be the fastest that we've played. And along with some dynamic playmakers too.
Does Georgia Tech screw you up the week after? I mean, you learn all these new keys, and is it hard to get back right?
I don't know. Hopefully we've got a mature enough group right now, an experienced enough group that can handle that. And that's kind of where I'm challenging our guys. We can't feel good about ourselves. You had a good win on the road. And I told them, by the time you start feeling good about yourself, you're going to get your tail knocked off. And we can go back to last year, we can go back to other seasons that these guys have been a part of, and they can learn from experience, and that's some of the best teaching methods is experience, and so I'm hoping we're going to have the right makeup with our leadership and that type of deal, that we're going to just continue to grow and get better, and this is another step in our progress towards our ultimate goal, and but we've got to go play well, and we understand how it is. I mean, it's going to be a 4-quarter game, and we got to take it one play at a time and just play our best football that snap, and then go to the next one and go do it again. And that's kind of what we've got to do, and we'll have to do that all year.
Have you ever had a situation where you had to integrate a player like Anton halfway through a season to a group that's been playing pretty well in the secondary?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. And we'll see where Tone is. He's practiced the last couple of weeks. We'll see where he is, and I want to make sure we're going to put the best people on the field that's going to give us the opportunity to win. And but he's worked extremely hard to get back, and but yeah, it's a good situation to have, I guess, when you got your you're going to see both those guys play now, to the extent of it's kind of like maybe who's a good running back or linebacker when you got to substitute a couple guys. Whoever the hot guy is, you want to keep going with them, but.
So he's shown you enough in these couple weeks that you can trust him to put him out there.
We'll find out. I'm still. I want to make sure he feels comfortable, and but at the same time, he's been a leader for us, and I'm hoping he's if he's not 100%. I hope he'd be man enough to tell me, when it's all said and done, that that he can't, that he can't do it full speed, and that's because that's the bottom line. When it's all said and done, we need everybody out there going full speed and doing their, being at the best of their ability to go compete, and whether that's this week or if it's going to be a week from now or 2 weeks from now, the next ball game. I just want a full speed guy. It's not any hesitation or any of that kind of stuff. That's the bottom line. That's my opinion. So.